Welcome in, guys. It is here, Thanksgiving Day, probably my favorite day of the year for forgetting about football, but just in general, my favorite holiday. And then you get 3 games on the slate. Really, really good games. Super excited. Thankful for you guys being here. It's been a good year so far. Me and Hoff got about an hour, maybe a little bit more, depending, maybe a little bit less, depending on how many questions that we get. But as always, we're super thankful for you guys. Excited to be here. Hoff, is there anything you want to share about the season, about the year, before we kind of jump into everything?
I will say, I think Thanksgiving is one of the most disrespected holidays. It's the Rodney Dangerfield of holidays because all everybody's waiting for when we're waiting for Thanksgiving is we're waiting for Christmas. And I went to the bagel store this morning, and I'm driving down the road, and the people got Christmas decorations up already. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And by the way, there is feedback on your end, but yeah, Thanksgiving gets no love. So I just wanted to put that out there into the space. Yeah. Be
I don't
thankful,
see any
will you?
feedback. Let me see. My mic's not moving when you're talking.
I thought there was, but whatever.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Background noise.
There
There
you
you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, it's one of those things where with hanging up holiday lights and everything else, I'd rather just hang up the Christmas stuff only because I don't want to have to go back out there. So maybe just have to tone it down a little bit, not hang up as much stuff for Thanksgiving, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Just
we got a
saying.
bunch of people here in the chat. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. What's going on? How we doing? How are we? And yeah, let's just kick things off. Starting off strong here with Jared Fortin. Jared Fortin said, "Happy Thanksgiving to the best fantasy guys. Need one flex, PPR, one quarterback. Franklin versus Washington, Neal versus Miami, DK versus Bills, Dak or Burrow." I'm going to go with Neal versus Miami. I would have said Franklin versus Washington, but there is going to be rain showers, it sounds like, the entire game. And Denver may not need to throw the ball a ton. So I'm a little bit skittish. I still have Knicks ranked as a top 12 quarterback, but I know Neal has really not shown a ton because he hasn't had a chance to be the starter for long. But 7 targets last week, 5 receptions, over 50 yards. And he's going up against Miami, which has been awesome for running backs all year. So I'm going to go with Devin Neal in this one. I really don't trust DK. And the quarterbacks are a little bit tougher for me between Dak and Burrow. I'll see what Hoff has to say on that, but that's where I would go, at least with the skill players.
I'm going Devin Neal here as well. I debated DK a little bit here. I'll say this because this kind of came to me as I was debating all these options. Don't be surprised if all 3 of these are underwhelming. Like if one doesn't far exceed the other. I'll just put that out there. But I think I'd go Neal here. Not sure if Kamara's going to be good to go or not. So yeah, I'd go Neal. If Rodgers was definitely playing, then I'd go DK. But is Rodgers out or is he in? That part
He's going to play.
He's
Yeah,
gonna play?
he's going to play. Yeah.
I'll still give me Neal.
Yeah. And then for the quarterbacks, I'll go with Dak. I expect it to be a high-scoring game. I don't think both offenses are going to be able to run the football very well in this game. So I'm rolling with Dak in this one over Burrow.
I'm going Joe Burrow. I get it. I mean, Dak's a great option, but I can't not play Joe Burrow. Maybe I'm too excited to have him back, but I'm playing him. I just have visions of the tail end of last year when he went on fire. And I know they're not making the playoffs, but you heard him talk to the media saying like he's not going to sit just because the team has such and such record. He's going to play. So I have a feeling he's going to want to play well too. So I'll go Burrow.
We have some super chats here, so we'll grab those and then we'll get back to the chat. Stimmy Check with the $2 super chat, appreciate it. Said Bucky or Gainwell this week. Yeah, I would say that Jaylen Warren is not getting the high value touches like we'd like. He's really more of like a low end RB2 because Gainwell has stepped up. With all that being said, I have Bucky Irving as my running back 17. I think if he plays, I think he's going to get at least 50% of the touches. He's going up against Arizona, which I don't think is a very good defense. And Jalen Warren against Buffalo. Kenneth Gainwell against Buffalo makes sense because Buffalo has been pretty bad against running backs. But if Bucky Irving's playing, I'm gonna roll him out there, especially if Baker might be banged up. Expect them to run the football a ton, and I'm rolling with Bucky here.
Yeah, I'm going Bucky too. I mean, listen, they gave him the extra week to make sure he was ready, good to go. I mean, and then also this matchup against the Cardinals. Cardinals are one of 3 teams to have 7 games of 20 or more points allowed to running backs, which is tied for second most in the league. So, yeah, give me Bucky.
Yeah. Okay. Sam with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. And as always, guys, if you want to cut the line, holidays, you got stuff going on, and you don't want to sit here and wait for your question to be answered. As you can see, the chat's filling up. You can always send in a super chat. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but we do appreciate this from Sam with a $5 super chat. Said Jordan Love or Jackson Dart. Bucky Irving workload report scaring me a bit, but still starting him. What say you? Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Yeah, we talked about Bucky a little bit there. I guess for the quarterbacks, you have Jackson Dart, who is taking on the New England Patriots. And then you have Jordan Love, who's taken on the Detroit Lions. And I don't have Jordan Love extremely high in my rankings. I have Love ranked 18 this week. Josh Jacobs back. I think they run the football in this one. I think Love maybe like a 200 yards, maybe 2 touchdown game, 225 and 2. But I'll go with the higher upside in Jackson Dart. This time of the year, I'm looking for the higher upside play. It's Monday night in prime time. Jackson Dart healthy going up against New England, and while New England's defense has been good, I expect their offense to put up points and the Giants to have to chase in that one, and so I'll go with Dart. And then with Bucky, I think we kind of talked about it a little bit. I think we're both feeling confident to roll him out in that matchup against Arizona.
Yeah, and yeah, in terms of quarterback, I'm sorry, Jordan Love to me is not exciting at all. I mean, Jordan Love is what? He's averaging, where are you, Jordan? 15.7 points per game as opposed to Jackson Dart, 22.9. I do fear, even though Dart practice, I don't know if they officially said he's definitely playing. He's still technically in concussion protocol. I wouldn't be stunned, and I'd hate it if they sit him this week because they have a week 14 bye and then have him come back week 15. So hopefully that doesn't happen. If that doesn't happen, I'm going Jackson Dart. And then, yeah, when we talked about Bucky, but yeah, give me Jackson Dart there. Jordan Love does not excite me at all in terms of fantasy.
Yeah, he's and this time of the year too, while they're indoors, we know what they like to do. I feel like I've said this so many times, but we know they like to run the football this late in the year. And Josh Jacobs is healthy, so I'm expecting a high dose of the run game, whether it's Emmanuel Wilson or it is Josh Jacobs. Another super chat by Scott here said Jamison Williams or Debo. Ugh, JMO. Yeah, I mean, you got Debo against Denver. I'm going with JMO here, and it sucks. It's so frustrating to roll him out after what he did last week in a high scoring game. But he's indoors. Denver could be wet and messy, and that's a Denver defense that I just don't want to start Debo against. I just don't have any desire that, Patrick Surtain might be back this week. They're healthy on defense. Dre Greenlaw has now played like 3 or 4 games at this point. I don't want to start Debo in this matchup. I think Terry's back. And Debo has just really, really gone downhill after the first strong stretch of the season. So I'm going to go with Jamison Williams. I get the frustration, and you might be frustrated no matter which guy you start here. But I think for me, it's going to be Jama.
It's Jamison Williams, and I get it. You're frustrated, but you look at those 3 previous weeks: 14.6, 20.9, 17.7. When we were on this show last week prior to the games, we were singing a much different tune in terms of Jamison Williams. At least a lot of people were. So, I get it. It was frustrating, but no, still, give me Jamison Williams today.
Okay. We're gonna kind of go back and forth here. You answer one, I answer one,
Sure.
to try to catch up on the chat here. From JS JHG said, need some help here. Full PPR, do I start Jamison Williams, Ricky Pearsall, or Tootin with the slim chance I can use Amara on Hampton this week? Williams plays today and eats one position, so I'd lose flexibility. Yeah. I get it, and that's tough. I would want to start Amara and Hampton out of all these players. I don't think Jamison Williams is that high of a better play this week than Pearsall or Tootin. So I would roll the dice and wait on Amara and Hampton for me in this spot. And if Hampton's ruled out and you lose JMO, I would probably go with Ricky Pearsall. But that would be where I would lean. Hoff, we have a super chat. Let's get to this. It's back from Sam. He said Jake Ferguson or Rondé Gadsden this week. You know, I was struggling a little bit with Rondé Gadsden, with my ranking of him, and I have Jake Ferguson ahead of him this week. I have Gadsden at 9. He takes on the Raiders. You know, you figure Chargers going to be pissed off after that bad game. They get an extra bye to lick their wounds, or they get an extra week to lick their wounds. But Jake Ferguson against Kansas City. Kansas City has allowed points to the tight end position. Ferguson has kind of gone down a little bit since the return of Lamb and with Pickens. I just expect a high scoring game. I feel like Jake Ferguson comes out in this one and plays a good one. So I'll roll the dice at Ferguson. If you want maybe the higher upside play, I would go with Rondé Gadsden, but I'm going with Jake Ferguson here.
Yeah, I'm going Jake Ferguson, regardless of if we want to talk about upside, floor, whatever the hell you want to talk about. I mean, he's still second in targets among tight ends with 77, 7 touchdowns on the year. And I get it. A good number of that probably was, early on when there were some injuries at the wide receiver position, but still, I'm going Jake Ferguson in this spot.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look here to see Jake Ferguson right now, 11th when it comes to tight ends in terms of targets the last 4 games or 4 weeks. He's got 6 targets in his last 3 games, and Rondé Gadsden, I'm trying to see where he's at. Hold on one second. Rondé Gadsden 5.3. So he's tight end 15 in targets per game, but fantasy points per game, Gadsden 7.4 over that span, and Jake Ferguson 10.23. So Gadsden has cooled down a little bit. So has Ferguson, but I just trust that Dallas offense to be high scoring, and it's a good matchup. The problem, the thing about the Gadsden matchup is Raiders, while their defense has been bad, they've been actually pretty good, Hoff, against the tight end position when it comes to points allowed. They do not give up much to the tight end. So that also is what had me worried when I was doing my rankings and was a major factor in sliding Gadsden down. Let's go ahead to another super chat here from Vice. Said, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Juwan Jennings or Dalton Schultz? Hoff, what do you got?
I think I'm leaning Dalton Schultz in that spot. I'm just double checking some stuff here. Let me see this here. Yeah, Texans going up against Indy. Saints going up against Miami. If I'm taking a look at some of this, yeah, I think I'm going Dalton Schultz here. If I'm not mistaken, I think in terms of the matchup, I thought it was comparable between the two. That's what I'm double checking right now.
I think I said Juwan Jennings, by the way.
Did I? Oh, did I? Juwan Johnson or Dalton Schultz?
Yeah, I don't know why I said Juwan Jennings. Sorry.
Nah,
I don't know if it changed anything or if you didn't even notice.
No, it didn't change. Well, I mean, it might have, but I'm going Dalton Schultz here. I mean, Colts are actually now looking at this, giving up the 6th most points at tight end. So, yeah, I'll take that opportunity there.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Juwan Johnson here. 13.97 fantasy points per game over his last 3 weeks. In that span, over the last 4 weeks, he is tight end 8 on a points per game basis, averaging 5 targets. No Rashid Shaheed, no Alvin Kamara, most likely. And he's against Miami. I think that game, again, could be not high scoring, but I think there'll be points. Schultz not far behind him, about 2.5 points per game less over this span. But I feel like Davis Mills is starting to try to push the ball downfield more. And so I prefer Johnson over Dalton Schultz.
It's a close one.
Yeah, it is close. Joe Carlton's in the house too. What's up, Joe? Good to see you, man.
No,
A
man.
lot of happy Thanksgivings. We appreciate that. We'll try to go quicker here a little bit. But again, sending some super chats. We're a little behind, but that's because we had some super chats. Hoff, I'll let you answer this one. K Space said, pick one: Romeo Dobbs, Keyshawn Boutte, Aaron Jones, full PPR in the flex spot. So you have Keyshawn Boutte taking on the Giants. You have Dobbs rolling out today. If you're feeling frisky and you kind of want some action, sometimes I let that sway my start sit decisions here. Real quick, I think I would go with Jones, but what do you got, Hoff?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go Dobbs here in this spot. I mean, the Lions are coming off of allowing 48.4 points to wide receivers last week, and then in at least, well, yeah, and consistently, with the exception of Week 11, they've been allowing 20 points or more to wide receivers. I'm gonna go Romeo Dobbs in this spot. I know you talked about how the Packers are gonna want to start to run the ball more, and that's fine, but indoors this week, I like Dobbs. I like the target share he gets.
Yeah, it would have been Dobbs if not for Jones. I think Jones is the high floor play. I think Dobbs actually has the highest ceiling here, which is crazy because Butte is the one that scores a lot of touchdowns. But I'm gonna go with I'll go with Jones, but I like Dobbs as well. Justin Kyle said, Happy Thanksgiving. Start K9, Wandale, or Neal in the flex. I'm going to go with Wandale Robinson. I like Neal, but I'm going to go with Wandale Robinson here. He's just been too hot to bench right now. And I know he's going up against New England, and it's a scarier matchup, but I don't think Christian Gonzalez is going to shadow Wandale. I think he'll probably shadow, Slayton or whoever ends up being on the outside for the Giants. KJ Frederick comes in here and said, What's up, guys? Happy Thanksgiving. Better flex option, Debo, Rico, or Dorchhoff?
I'm gonna go Rico Dowdle here. I mean, Rico Dowdle talked about how he was a little bit frustrated with how the game plan rolled out against San Francisco, and Dave Canales actually acknowledged it, and they kind of agreed. So I think we could see Rico get back on getting more carries there. So yeah, give me Rico Dowdle in this spot.
If you guys haven't already,
Torch
make
is
sure you hit
close
that
though.
thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Thanks for jumping in with us and hanging out. We got another question from Michael. He said, Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Appreciate you. Full PPR. Pick two. Ricky Pearsall, Marvin Harrison if he plays Yoshivas Parker, Pierce, or John Mechie. Yeah, I mean, for me, Hoff, if Marvin Harrison Jr. plays, I'm starting him in that matchup. I like him in that spot. Right now, I have him like at 105 in my rankings, assuming he doesn't play. But if Marv plays, he's going to probably be, a top 30 play for me. Probably right ahead of Jamison Williams and right ahead of Roma Dunze and DK Metcalf, and behind Cortland Sutton is probably where I would have him. So I would definitely start Marvin Harrison Jr., I think. And then it's really a toss-up between the rest. I think Parker Washington, Pierce, and Mechie are the other guys I would consider here. Parker Washington's been super, super hot lately. I have Parker Washington as wide receiver 33. I have Alec Pierce a little lower. I don't want to start Alec Pierce this week against Houston. I'm not a big fan of that matchup. And then you also have the last guy here, John Mechie, John Mechie's been good, man. 2 touchdowns the last 2 games. I talked about him as a dynasty buy. He is going up against Atlanta, though. I do worry about him this week. I'm not excited to start him, so I probably would not. So for me, it'd be Parker Washington. Let's go to SW Elbow here for you, Hoff. He said, Happy Turkey Day. Half PPR, choose one. Chris Godwin, who has now returned. Josh Downs, who I don't even know where he is anymore. Ricky Pearsall or Chris Rodriguez. This is a gross 4 guys that you can start here,
Yes.
Hoff. What say you? What do you got?
This is gross, and I will avoid the answer for a hot second by telling everybody I'm putting the link into the YouTube chat for our DFS contest today. Feel free to get in there. What the hell is it? What was I going to say? Yeah, in terms of this, I'm going Rodriguez in this spot. I would want to go Pearsall, but I don't trust Pearsall. A, to stay healthy, or B, to be consistent for fantasy. And then C, the weather's going to be gross in Cleveland. So give me Rodriguez in this spot. Again, you mentioned Downs. I don't know who the hell he is anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I normally would have said Chris Godwin here. I think I still think I would go with Ricky Pearsall if it were me. I just don't love Rodriguez. I know the weather's going to be bad there, but I just don't love it. TD with his $5 super chat. Let me see if I can find his question, and maybe he just sent in a super chat and did not ask us a question. So I'm trying to check here for TD. TD, if you have a question, can you just resend that in, and Hoff will make sure he's watching out for it. If it's just a super chat to just shoot us a couple bucks, then we appreciate it. But if it's not, and we missed it, then let us know. So we'll come back to TD in case he has something. Michael Levchenko with a $2 super chat said, "My options are Knicks or Purdy. Who do I play?" I feel like this is a trap question here.
This is a trap question.
Hoff is a 49ers fan. I am a Denver Broncos fan. I think with how bad Purdy looked, plus the tough defense he's going to play, both teams are probably going to have tough weather. Broncos in the rain. Browns, it's going to be cold and windy. I would definitely go with Bo Nix here. I have Brock Purdy as my quarterback 19. I have Nix at 9 this week. I worry that Nix and them may not have to do too much to score points, but yeah, that's where I would go. And TD, I do see your question. You're going to grab that once Hoff gives his answer here.
I'm going Bo Nix here. The Purdy haters are going to have another week to circle the wagons, have a good time, because the weather's going to be gross there. You look at that last game he played in Cleveland; it did not go well. I fear Myles Garrett, so yeah, I'm going Bo Nix here. But I think both quarterbacks aren't going to have the best week this week. But thank you for your complete non-trolling question, ATL.
I'm in a flex frenzy. They have the Turkey Day drafts, and I just got put into one, so I will draft my team while we go live. I'm getting a TD in a second. Trick says, "Holy shit, holy fuck, you guys are gonna answer every question." We try our best. We try our best. It might take a little bit of time to get to everybody, but we try. TD said, "My fantasy team thanks you guys. I tied for first. Need to PPR. Ibuka, Kyron, Javante, or Rico. Rico gets right. Kyron loses touch to Quorum. Happy Thanksgiving." I think Kyron is the ultimate lock here for me. I do worry a little bit about Emeka Ibuka. I will say that I was listening to shoot, who's the one podcast, the guy late round quarterback, and he was talking about Ibuka's catchable target rate has dropped to like 49% or something like that. It's under 50%. So the volume has been there for Ibuka, but the catchable target rate has just not been there. So that's really been the biggest struggle for him. I would go with Kyron, and I would go with Javante Williams. Both Javante and Rico have tough matchups, but I think Javante is going to be a game where there's more points. And so I'm going to roll with Javante in that one. It's tough sitting Ibuka. The volume is there with the shoulder injury for Baker, and just the inconsistencies with just them connecting even before that injury, which I happen to think that, I happen to think Baker was hurt before that. I would go with Javante, and I would go with Kyron. You?
I would actually go with the same. Yeah, I'd go Javante. I'd go Kyron. If Javante is not there, then I would have gone with Rico over Ibuka. But yeah, give me Kyron. Give me Javante. I'm not worried about him losing touches to Quorum.
Me too. TD, thank you so much for the super chat, man. We appreciate that. We're gonna go back to where we were in the chat, and if you've been waiting and hanging on patiently, we appreciate it. So let's scroll up here, and let's get to Justin Kyle. We answered that, so I think KJ Frederick. We answered that as well. I think we're at Iggy. Yeah, we're at Iggy. Iggy, what's going on, man? Said, with Olave on the injury report, do I start Jameson Williams? I also have Pearsall on the bench. PPR. Happy Thanksgiving. Nah, I would start Olave. I'm willing to roll the dice and bite the bullet if he doesn't play. But early in the week, injury report pops up with a back. We haven't seen him pop up with back injuries. I don't think this is something. He didn't take a big shot last week where you're like, oh shoot, is he going to play this week? I think it's just maintenance. Maybe a veteran rest day. Hoff. Sam said, I have Ferguson in half-point PPR and Goddard in a full. I also have Juwan in both. Am I crazy? I'm wanting to start Juwan in both over both today.
Now, since this is a tight end question, does he mean Juwan Johnson or Juwan Jennings?
Juwan Johnson. Yeah, I'm going to assume Juwan Johnson, yeah.
Okay, let's assume it's Juwan Johnson. I'd still go Ferguson over Juwan Johnson. I would go Juwan Johnson over Dallas Goddard based on matchups. That's kind of where I would lean on that one. But yeah, that's
I
assuming
would
it's
too.
Juwan Johnson. Yeah.
I would too. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Paul, what's going on? Said happy Thanksgiving. Who to start between quarterbacks? Nick, Dart, Brissett, Daniel Jones. Thank you, and I hope you both have a great day. Appreciate that, Paul. Thank you, man. Have a good
You too, man.
holiday. Nick, Dart, Brissett, Jones. So this is tight. I have Bo Nix at 9. I have Dart at 10. I have Jacoby Brissett at 13. And I have Daniel Jones at 17 versus Houston. So I'm definitely not starting Daniel Jones. I think you can make a case for either of the other three between Brissett, Dart, and Nix. I prefer Nix, but I wouldn't blame anybody for trying to go Dart. But the worry is Dart coming off of a couple of games missed against a really good defense. And that could be a case, but you could also make the case for the weather. Jacoby Brissett is the high floor play here. He's playing against Tampa Bay. Weather shouldn't be a problem in that one. If you want the safe play, go Jacoby Brissett. If you want the higher upside, I would go with Knicks. Yeah, that would be how I would roll. You?
I'm actually. I would say if Dart plays, I go Dart. If Dart's not playing, then I go with Jacoby Brissett. Actually, with Bo Nix being just behind him for me.
Sure.
I just like what Brissett's given us. I mean, 20 points per game is, that's what he's averaging right now. So, gotta love that.
Sure. So hey Shao said happy Thanksgiving guys, DST and kicker goats, full PPR, pick 3, Jacobs, Rico, Harvey, Bucky, Woody, and I have Hampton if he plays, Nix or Brissett. So I think I go Nix, Hauff goes Brissett. If you want safe, go Brissett. I prefer Nix. But as for the other question here, I'm definitely starting Jacobs if he plays. I'm starting RJ Harvey and I'm starting Bucky Irving. You?
Yeah, I would actually agree with that take, and I appreciate the DST and kicker goats. But yes, I would go with that.
I'll let you answer this one. Hello, guys from Brazil. What's going on? Should I start Dart or Love and Jamison Williams or Devontae? Thank you so much.
Well, we had this question in terms of quarterbacks already. I'm going if Jackson Dart plays, I'm going Jackson Dart. To me, Jordan Love is
Yeah.
just super unappealing. In terms of wide receivers, I can't not go with Devontae Adams with the work he's doing right now with the Rams. Looks like vintage Devontae Adams. I know some people hate when people say that, but he does look vintage. So, yeah, give me Devontae Adams there.
Okay. Robert said Devin Neal or Sutton my flex. I would go with Devin Neal over Sutton. I know it sounds crazy, but the weather inconsistencies with Sutton, I'll go with Neal higher upside. Is Brian Thomas droppable for Brenton Strange? I guess it just matters on the context here. I'm still holding out hope that Brian Thomas maybe can put something together for the end of the season here. It's the higher upside. Brenton Strange, you're going to find tight. If Brenton Strange is on the waivers, you're going to find guys that are serviceable. And I like Brenton Strange, but I would still hold on to Brian Thomas. The upside is still there. SW Elbow said Burrow or Knicks. This is tough. I'm gonna go with I'm still gonna go with Bo Nix here over Burrow. I know you're gonna probably say Burrow, but I'm gonna go with Nix over Burrow this week. My thing is this: if the weather is not as big of a factor as I think it could be, Knicks against Washington. I mean, so many quarterbacks have played so well against Washington this year. It's so hard not to it's so hard not to roll with that. And Knicks over his last let's see. Knicks over his last 3 games, 13.31 fantasy points, but one of that he's also played against Houston. Obviously that was a tough game, and then he also played against the Raiders, where he obviously had a tough game too. He's for the most part played really well fantasy wise. When he's had good matchups, and even with those down games, when you look at on a points per game basis on the season, Knicks is still averaging 18.74. And so if you knock out Brock Purdy and Jameis Winston, who have only played 3 and 2 games respectfully, Knicks is about quarterback 13 on a points per game basis. So I'm gonna go with Knicks over Burrow. Worried a little bit about him shaking the rust off. Let's go to the super chat here from Stephen Drake's Hoff. He said, "Fellas, what's going on? PPR, half PPR. Bucky Irving or Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins off 2 touchdowns last week. A lot of talk over there in Cleveland with Shador, a lot of excitement. 49ers defense, you know very well, they are having issues tackling for sure. Taking on Quinshon Judkins. They did just sign Eric Kendricks. Who do you got?
I'm still going Bucky Irving in this spot. I mean, I feel like with Shador Sanders starting, I feel like Robert Saleh can game plan more so for Judkins and give Shador the opportunity to try and beat them. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bucky Irving in this spot again. They rest them an extra week. The matchup's good. I'll take Bucky.
Yes, I'm with you there. I'm going Bucky as well. Dimitri said, "Hey guys, pick one: start Flowers, Diggs, or Olave." Flowers has been super mid. I mean, he's giving us a floor of like 10 points a game. He's not giving us much ceiling right now. I have Zay Flowers at 15 right now. I have Olave at 13 this week, and I have Stephon Diggs behind both. I'm going with Chris Olave. If Chris Olave doesn't play, I'm going with. Well, you can't go with Flowers, then you got to go with Diggs. But Diggs is still a good option. But I'm going with Chris Olave.
Yeah, I mean, we had a similar question earlier in terms of maybe a fallback option in case Olave. I mean, he plays, but in case he didn't. But I think Diggs would be a nice fallback option here. But I'm going Chris Olave as well.
Okay, perfect.
Just getting the
one.
targets, man. He's got 7 games with like at least 10 targets, which I believe leads all wide receivers. If I'm not mistaken, I could pull that up in a hot second while Pete's checking whatever he's checking over there.
Yeah, I'm checking out Fredo's question. He sent in a super chat. So you answer that. My wife is also telling me she doesn't know how to get to my parents' house, so I'm trying to send my address.
All right. Well, where is this? Oh, Alfredo. Let me see this. Why isn't that coming up? I'll get to it in a second, Alfredo. I don't know why it's not letting me scroll. Here we go. Alfredo with a $20 super chat. Hot damn. Thank you, sir. Hi, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I need roster help with Irving and Scary Terry having to come off the IR. I don't know who to drop. Can I send y'all a screenshot on Discord to look over my roster? Yeah, absolutely. I'm Sauce on Discord. And I believe I thought we got a notification from you.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up on the screen. I'm trying to pull it up on the screen really quick so that everyone can see it. So it's in the Pro Bowl general chat.
That it is. Which, by the way, you guys can always join our Discord and ask some questions in there. Be more than happy to help you out. But yeah, all right. So he's Irving and Scary Terry coming off the IR, so he's got to drop somebody.
Yeah, so I should be. You should be seeing it on the screen now. Let me pull his super chat down really quick so that you can see the full thing. Is it tiny? Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in here.
Tiny.
That's what she said.
Anyway. That sucks.
All right. So what is it? So what's the question here? Let me see.
He's got Bucky Irving and Terry McLaurin coming off IR, so he's got to make room. So he needs to know who to drop here.
Okay.
I'll say right away. For me, Troy Franklin jumps out at me. I mean, he's got good options. I mean, that's the problem.
Here's the thing. He's got 3 quarterbacks.
He's got 3 quarterbacks.
I mean, you don't want to give a quarterback to somebody, but at the same time, I mean, you want to play defense. So it's tough. I mean, you want to play defense and not give somebody a good option, but I just feel like you have to probably drop one of these quarterbacks. Man,
I'll say this. Tough. I'm dropping this. This is not an easy question. This is why he's asking it. But I would drop both Broncos. I would drop Bo Nix. I would drop Troy Franklin. I know you're higher on Nix this week, so you might say differently, but I would rather. I would
definitely drop Nix. Yeah, I would definitely drop Nix. Franklin is the guy that I'm struggling with here because I mean Troy Franklin, he's averaging 7.36 targets per game this year. It's really hard to drop that, and even over the last 4 games, I mean he's averaging 9 targets a game over his last 3 games, and that's over the last 4 weeks. So it's really hard for me to drop Troy Franklin given that production. I would drop Bo Nix, and honestly, I would consider dropping Brian Thomas Jr. I think Terry and Brian Thomas Jr. are pretty much in the same boat here, right? Terry,
That's fair.
we haven't seen it yet this year. That offense is a mess right now. But we do know that if Jaden Daniels does come back, we know the connection is there. So it's hard not to start Terry. But even when he was healthy, Terry didn't do much. So
Would you
I
drop
think for
Terry
me,
outright?
yeah, I think for me, I would consider dropping Terry outright. I mean,
Yeah.
Franklin's giving you too much right now. Unless you're going to drop one of the other quarterbacks, I don't really see another way out of this. I mean, I can't drop Troy Franklin. He's averaging 9 targets a game over his last 3 and 7.5 this season over 11 games. I just can't do that. I mean, Thomas has been inconsistent. We know that. But you're hoping for that upside with him. And Terry, it's got to be between Terry and Thomas. I want to check their schedules here really quick.
Yeah, I'll say this while you look that up. You've swayed me into this. I would drop Terry McLaurin outright. I would drop Bo Nix and I would drop Terry McLaurin. I mean, yeah, he's just not giving you much. And even with Jaden Daniels, does he come back? Does he not come back? Then does he get hurt again? And then that's another problem. So I would also just say before Pete goes, I would just say keep in mind though when you're keeping Burrow in May, you do have a Week 14 bye for May. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
So you're starting Burrow against Buffalo, at Buffalo. So you got to see what the weather's going to look like.
Terry has a pretty good playoff schedule. He gets Dallas in the last week of the playoffs. He's got Philly, who's 18th in points allowed to the wide receiver position. I'm honestly leaning. I think I would drop Brian Thomas Jr. here. Brian Thomas Jr. has a good stretch here. He's got Tennessee, then he's got the Colts, but then it's Jets, Denver, and Indianapolis. I would drop BTJ and I would drop Bo Nix. That would be the route that I would go here. I think that's your best bet. It's definitely not an easy answer. Not an easy question, but that would be the route that I would go. I like I said, if you honestly, you could make the case that you could drop. I mean, it depends. If you're telling me this is a 10-man league, and there's going to be quarterbacks available, you could make the argument that you drop Burrow and Nix. I mean, and then try to pick a quarterback up next week when May's on a bye. So that would be the only other pivot I would give you. I would drop BTJ and I would drop Nix. But if you're telling me that this is a 10-man league and there are good quarterbacks out there, then I would drop Burrow and Nix, and I would try to pick one up next week and figure it out from there with May on a bye.
Probably wouldn't drop both quarterbacks, but I get what you're saying.
What do you say?
No, I said I probably wouldn't drop both quarterbacks, but I get why you're saying it. It makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks available. Then I think that's something to consider. There's no reason to hold 3 quarterbacks in a 10-man league this late into the season too, with buys, passing, injuries. You kind of got to risk it for the biscuit. But thank you so much, Fredo, for the super chat there. Big Dog Fish with a $5 super chat said, "Who should I start at wide receiver 3? Xavier Worthy, DJ Moore, John Mechie, Jerry Jeudy. I already have Rashee Rice starting, and my opponent has Patrick Mahomes. My lean is DJ Moore. My lean is DJ Moore here too. Eagles, I like their defense this week, but they are banged up in the secondary. And so DJ Moore, just as we're all out on him, he comes back and has a big game. Jerry Jeudy would be my possibly the other option there if you want upside. But again, that secondary for San Fran's bad, but also it could be a really gross game. And I don't want to start. Worthy probably would have been the start here, but you're already starting Rashee Rice, and I just don't know that I want to put all my eggs in that basket. So I would go with DJ Moore probably here.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If not for starting Rice already, then I would go Worthy. But otherwise, I'll go DJ Moore. And Jerry Jeudy. If there wasn't inclement weather, I would probably maybe lean him. But with the weather expected, I think both offenses are going to have a hard time. That being San Francisco and Cleveland. So,
all right, let's get back to the regular chat. We'll try to rip through some of these a little bit quick. Russell Dean said, "Good luck to you guys today." Good luck to you too, man. Thanks for jumping in. I answered this one already, I think. If it's a 6 points for passing touchdowns, I would go Burrow. That changes it a little bit for me. KJ Frederick said, "With the rain expected, should I pivot off of Bo and drop one of the
Mm.
players for Darnold or two?" I wouldn't do that. I definitely wouldn't do that. Because I'm not in love with those matchups either. Hall, if you want to answer Debbie here, she said, "Happy Thanksgiving." PPR, one running back, one flex, Judkins, Monty, Genty, Aaron Jones, Metcalf, Jennings, or Terry McLaurin. Thank you in advance.
One RB, one flex. I will go. Actually, I'm going Montgomery here. I'm gonna go. I'll go Judkins and Monty here. Was debating Aaron Jones over Judkins, but no, I'll go Monty and Judkins here.
Yeah,
Again, the weather scares the shit out of me in terms of Jennings over there.
no, it makes sense. I think I would personally go with Judkins and Genty. Monty, man, he's just broken my heart a little too much, man. It's tough. I love David Montgomery. Steven said, Bucky, Tet, Wandale, Michael Wilson, pick 3 half PPR. So it's half PPR, which is definitely important. Definitely starting Tet this week. I'm definitely starting Michael Wilson. I'm definitely starting Wandale. This is the one boy. Honestly, Bucky's probably going to outscore one of these guys. I just can't tell you which. And the 3 of them have been extremely hot outside of Tet with a little bit of a bad game last week, but I like the matchup. I just don't know how you could sit any of those 3 wide receivers, but one of them is Bucky's going to outplay one of them. I just can't tell you which one, and I don't want to be sitting here with benching any of these hot guys for Bucky because he's back, and Bucky maybe burns us there. Hoff, Albert, I don't know why I said Milano. Albert said, "Happy Thanksgiving, fellas." Thank you, Albert. And then Robert has a question for you. Jameson Williams will smash this week, Scott. Sorry, that wasn't a question.
Nope.
Devin Neal, Kareem Hunt, or Andre Yoshivas. Bengals wide receiver 1 with Higgins back and Chase out, Burrow back. So actually, Higgins is out. Chase is back. So you had it flipped, but Burrow is back. So you did get that right. What do you got, Hoff?
I think he was saying he was the wide receiver 1 with Higgins with a concussion last week, and Chase was out. Maybe that's what he meant.
Yeah,
I don't know. Who the hell
true.
knows? Whatever. Anyway, I go Yoshivas here. Listen. I think the Bengals come out tonight. I really truly do. If you were worried about Burrow, which I'm not, but if you were, which I get because of rust, if you want to say so, then I would have gone Kareem Hunt over Devin Neal. But give me Yoshivas here in the spot.
Yeah. I would go with Devin Neal still here. I think Mike Gesicki is gonna step up, and I'm actually banking on Gesicki to be the guy that steps up today. Your boy Mike Gesicki, Jersey Shore native Mike Gesicki, full PPR, Irish stripes, 2 running backs, 1 flex, Rico, Jacobs, Henderson, Neal. I'm benching Rico here. I'm not in love with the matchup against the Rams. I get it. Coach speak. Everything sounds great and all, but the matchup is still really tough.
You're really
so
in on
I'm
Neal,
going
huh?
running backs. I like Neal this week. I'm gonna die on the sword. I also loved him as a prospect. And who doesn't have good weeks against Miami's defense at running back?
This is fair.
Scott, for you. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry. Hoff, who do you think wins? War Games and who takes Penn?
That is Survivor Series, which is on the ESPN app, which I will be watching this weekend. I think the heels win both matchups. I think we see some heel turns from the from the good guy side. I'm going to say, hopefully Jey Uso takes the loss because Jey Uso sucks. And I think Charlotte Flair takes the loss because I think Bliss turns, which we've already discussed at the bar previously. So I don't know why you're asking me here, but there you go. And I'll be watching it with him. Yeah, there you go. Maybe we'll get some wings.
Beautiful. There's movement by the door behind me. I'm scared someone's about to walk in.
Nice.
So hopefully not. All right. Let's see. Roger said Cedric Tillman, Tootin, Vele. Ugh. Jordan Addison, gross. Choose one over Debo. Happy Thanksgiving to you both. I don't
This is the
care how
cranberry
bad.
sauce portion of the show because this
I
sucks.
don't care. Listen, I don't care how bad Debo's been. I ain't starting Vele over him. I'm not
No.
starting Jordan Addison in that matchup. Bosmer against Seattle. I'm not. I'm just not taking that chance.
No.
Honestly, I think Tootin is the one guy I would consider here against Tennessee. I know Tootin was a disappointment last week, but I think he gets involved more, and I think he's likely to score. I would go with Tootin. If you're hard pressed on not starting Debo, Tootin would be the guy I would go.
Yeah. Agreed.
Bo Nix or Caleb Williams from Kilkenny, Hoff.
I'm going Caleb Williams. Maybe I'm not believing in Bo
Wow.
Nix this week. What? No, what? No good?
No, it's fair. I'm not that high on Caleb. I actually kind of have a little bit. I think this is the week the turnover luck changes for him against Philly. I think this week.
Okay.
Hoff, Javonte Williams or Bucky Irving.
Oof. Give me Javonte in this spot. This one's close, only because I love the matchup for Bucky. But give me Javonte.
Yeah, I'm going with Javonte too. I know Javonte hasn't been that good as of late. 9.9 PPR points over the last 3 games. But I'll still go with Javonte. I think that game is high scoring. I don't think they can run the ball much, but I think he'll catch passes, and I think he'll be okay. Anytime touchdown parlay, JMO, Williams, Gesicki, Hunt. I'm huge on Christian Watson today. I think Rashee Rice and Christian Watson are the 2 guys I want in my parlay. Maybe even Mike Gesicki if you want to add a little flavor there.
I don't hate that,
but
though.
that would be what I would go. What'd you say?
Yeah. No, I'm saying I don't hate that parlay. I don't. He
No,
usually puts together
think
some
it's
pretty decent parlays.
yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I'm trying to get Christian Watson in every bet and every lineup this week. I
Yeah, you are
just
hot and bothered.
feeling it. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
feeling a big Christian Watson day, man. I don't know what it is.
Me
Start
neither.
4 of these wide receivers. 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Chase Lamb, Rice, Adams, Juwan Jennings, Shaheed. Hoff, I think at this point you can't start Shaheed. It's got to be Chase. It's got to be Lamb, and it's got to be
Smash
it's got to be Rice and Adams. I think you probably mentioned the other 2.
Yes, no, it's all 4 of those names, and then we're benching the other 2. Agreed.
Yeah. All right.
You should have asked her thoughts. You should have. Oh,
what'd you say?
Oh, the big guy. The big guy's back there. This guy.
This is where it all happens. Huh?
That's it, man.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother. How you doing?
Thanksgiving. I'm living a dream. How you doing?
You get to look at this face for whatever 2 hours. How blessed can you be?
Oh,
it's definitely not going to be 2 hours because he forgot his charger. So definitely won't be 2 hours.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, no, he's
Devin Neal, Kareem Hunt, Ted. I think I sit Kareem Hunt today.
I'm going Hunt over Neal. One of us is going to be dead wrong on Neal.
I know. We'll see. Trade Rome, Quinton, and Kamara for Waddle and Bucky, or trade Rico for Chase Brown. I would trade Rico for Chase Brown right now. On a side trade, and I would do both trades probably. I would take Waddle, I would take Bucky over Quinton, Rome, and Kamara, and I would take both trades in a heartbeat. I would do it right now.
I would especially take the Waddle and Bucky one, but yeah, for sure, I'd take both.
Corian said, "Raise your hand if you got the first round bye and get to enjoy unadulterated football this week." I love a good sweat. I'm either miserable or I'm happy, but. Trick said Jordan Love or Sam Darnold. I think we're both going Sam Darnold here.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Ryan said, "Happy Thanksgiving, you too. Should I start Emeka Egbuka, Devonta Smith, or Christian Watson?" I'm going with Christian Watson. I think I got to check that. Actually, hold on. I like Christian Watson.
Devonta Smith's dealing with some injuries too, though. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Devonta Smith. I was reading that yesterday. It was like he had an illness. He had something else going on.
Yeah, he's got like the back. He's got a lot going on. I would still start Devonta Smith, but if you're skittish, I would go with Buka. I have him 1 spot ahead of Christian Watson, but I think Watson's the high upside play today. I think Egbuka is maybe the safer floor. I love Christian Watson. I'll keep saying it, but I would go with Devonta Smith if you don't want to take a chance that he gets ruled out and then you're stuck with Ibuka, who you might not prefer. Then I would go Christian Watson today.
I
Even
would
though
go
I have,
Watson.
yeah.
I was going to say
You get what
I
I'm
would go Watson for that exact reason you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
all about when the games are being played.
Yeah, and I have Watson as my third, the last guy I would start here of the three. But if you're worried about Devonta and you don't love Ibuka, I think Watson then go for it because Ibuka and Watson are back to back for me in my rankings. We answered TD here. Ryan said Wandale, Bucky, DJ Moore, Chris Olave, Christian Watson in the flex PPR. I'm gonna go with Wandale Robinson here. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna go with Chris Olave here.
Yeah, that's what I was going
And
to say.
I think you're okay if Olave doesn't play, you're okay to pivot. You can pivot to Bucky or Wandale, and I would go with Wandale, but that would be how I would go.
PPR, yeah. If no Chris Olave, then I would pivot to Wandale.
Yeah. All right, let's you take this one. Half PPR, need one for flex. Pearsall, BTJ, Charbs, or Devin Neal.
This is where I'll go Devin Neal. There you go, Pete. You've got one. Pearsall, again, the weather and even last week, like he didn't do much of anything, and then we're waiting on Brian Thomas Jr. to do something. So really, to me, it comes down to Charbonnet and it comes down to Devin Neal. In this spot, I'll take Devin Neal here.
Fair enough. Josh said, "Happy Turkey Day." Michael Wilson with Harrison back, Parker Washington, or Mooney. I'm still going to go with Michael Wilson here.
Yeah. I mean, I do love me some Parker Washington. You know that. But...
Yeah, I hear you. Fredo with another super chat, extremely generous today. We very much appreciate that. Said pick
Absolutely.
2 to flex: Devin Neal, Judkins, McMillan, Dowdle, and Troy Franklin. I think I'm going with Judkins, and I think I'm going with McMillan. I would maybe consider Neal over Judkins, but I'm definitely going McMillan, and I think it would be Neal for me over the rest. I'm sorry, it would be
no, yeah.
Oh, let me double check that.
Judkins and McMillan would be mine, which I believe you were saying as well.
It's either Judkins or McMillan or Neal or McMillan. I would say Judkins safe play, Neal higher upside. So depending on what your risk tolerance is there, but I have Neal one spot ahead of Judkins, but I think they're pretty close, and I would go with your gut on the two guys there. But McMillan definitely has to start, and I'm not super excited about Rico Dowdle, which I kind of already shared. Thank you for the super chat, friend. Let's see, where are we? Steven said, "Happy Thanksgiving. Start May or Burrow at tight end? Tyler Warren, Taysom Hill, Johnson." I'm still going to go with Tyler Warren. I know it's a tough matchup, and I know he hasn't had the ceiling pop games like we'd hoped, but still going with him, and I'm going with Drake May against the Giants. Hauff, next one's for you here. We answered this already. You go to no cap here. Said, "Happy Thanksgiving, boys. Pick 2 in a full PPR: Dowdle, Henderson, Judkins, or Pittman."
Judkins and Pittman would be the players for me. That's a pretty easy one for me.
Fair enough. Let's see. TD, we answered this one already. Trick said, "Need help." We answered this one already. Yeah, sometimes people are sending him in double sending. So Mike said, "Would you start Javonte Williams as a flex or Tet McMillan or Jacoby Myers?" Definitely not starting Jacoby. I would start Tet McMillan. If you want a safer play, go Javonte. But I think Tet is the higher ceiling play here. I'm definitely not starting Jacoby, though. I wouldn't even consider him.
Yeah, same. Exactly the same.
This one's for you, Justin Jefferson or Tet. I'm a little worried about the Vikings quarterback situation, and Seattle's defense is really good too.
Yeah. What kind of world are we living in where I'm saying this? I'm going Tet McMillan here. I'm worried too. And I mean, Vikings fans should be worried in general.
I'm with you. Vinny said, "Happy Thanksgiving. AJ Brown or Roma Dunze, Ferguson or Gadsden?" I'm going to go with AJ Brown in this matchup against Chicago. Their secondary's beat up. Nice to see last week. I get it. We're concerned, but Dunze, there's just so many mouths to feed. He's got a lot of drops. They're just not connecting as much as I would hope. And then Ferguson or Gadsden, I prefer Ferguson over Gadsden this week. Hoff, Don't think we answered something similar to this, but we didn't answer this one. Quentin Johnson, Jacoby Myers, Romeo Dobbs, or John Mechie, 10-man PPR.
I'm going Dobbs, and call me crazy, but I'm going Mechie over Johnston. I'm not really considering
you only
Jacoby
start
Myers to me. Oh, only start
You
one?
only start
Oh,
one.
then I'm going Dobbs.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm going Dobbs. I apologize. I'm not good at reading or
That's right.
listening.
Never mind.
Apparently.
All good. I think did Debbie resend this one in? Yeah, I think she did.
She did.
DeAndre Shifter, Woody Marks in a 12-man PPR. I don't even want to answer this one. I would go with Woody Marks over DeAndre Swift. The fumble, Swift was kind of benched, it looked like a little bit after the fumble. Monungai looked good. Like, I just think Monungai, the route share has gone up for him. I prefer him over Woody Marks over him. Hauff, no cap said tough one here. Sorry in advance. Pick 2, full PPR, half, 0.25 per carry as well. So you get a bump up. Fannin, Strange, Tootin, Montgomery, JCM, Burden, or Jacoby Myers. Pick 2, full PPR, and you get a premium for every carry, 0.25.
This is a gross question. I'm going Montgomery, and I'm going Strange. I don't trust Bill Krusky Merritt anymore. I'm not down with Burden. I'm not down with Myers. So I do love Brenton Strange in general, but by default here, I'm going Well, you know what? Actually, no, never mind. I'll go Montgomery and Tootin. Actually, Strange would be just on the outside looking in, though.
That would be my answer as well. I would go Montgomery and Tootin as well. Yeah, that would be my answer there too. Judkins, Bucky, or RJ Harvey this week. I think I'm going with Bucky. Yeah, I'm going with Bucky Irving this week. That would be my play. I do want to make a note here. Hoff's going to answer this question. I have a DFS tournament as well that Hoff is in. It's the second tournament that we're both running. This one's a little bit more money. It's $20. Less people, 10 max in that one. And if it doesn't fill to the 10 people, it'll just shrink down to whatever we have. It's first 2 get money. A little bit more expensive, $20, but just for the fun of it, we figured we'd do something a little bit more higher stakes. Hoff, we got this question here. You can go ahead and answer that one.
Scared money don't make money. Mike Lively coming in here saying happy Thanksgiving. PPR league, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flexed, not flexed. Puka, Waddle, Michael Carter, Wandell Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Rico Kyrene, also known as Kyron, Omarion Hampton, and Kamani Vidal. Well, Vidal's out for sure. Wide receivers here. I'm going to go. Well, let's get the running backs out of the way. I'm going to go Saquon, and I'm going to go Kyron Williams. And then wide receivers, I'm going to go Waddle. I'm going to go Puka. And I feel like you can flip a coin between these two, but I'm going to go Michael Carter over Wandell Robinson. But I feel like you could flip a coin on those 2 guys. But yeah, I'm not. It's Rico and Vidal are not happening. So that's my answer there.
Fair enough. I'm trying to see if I can get the DFS link. I never know how to do this on the freaking computer.
Do you want me to just do it?
Do you have it?
I could do it right now from my phone.
All right, yeah, do that.
Yeah, I'll drop it in there.
All right, and then let's see where we are. Iggy said, last 2 questions, Caleb or T-Law, am I good to keep Dicker rest of the season, or should I get Fairbarn? I prefer Caleb over T-Law this week, and then I actually just picked up Dicker over Fairbarn in one league. He's got to go against Kansas City next week outdoors, but Hoff, you're the kicker guy, so you tell me.
Both are going to finish close to each other, honestly. I should have my playoff video out tomorrow, and I will tell you the very appealing thing about Fairbairn is that he will be indoors for all of his fantasy playoff matchups. So I would go Fairbairn for that reason, but it's close. I judge nobody for going Dicker over Fairbairn.
Okay. Last question. Are you guys confident in Packers DST? Which would you start on Sunday, Texans or the Browns? Yeah, I'm going Texans over the Browns. I'm not super confident in Packers defense today. Indoors, they haven't been great for fantasy. They don't generate a ton of turnovers. They haven't been super great. Shakir, I don't know. I don't know if there's any more to this question here. Oh, wait. Did we miss a super chat? Oh, wait. Okay. No, he just added this in. No, this doesn't, the Shakir add to that super chat doesn't really change anything for me, Dimitri. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for hopping in. Kenny Watts said, "Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Do you like Goff or Caleb Williams this week? Also, looking ahead to the weekend scenario, if in the scenario Baker doesn't end up playing, would you play Judkins over Igbuka? I'm basically going to pick two. Yeah, I would go Judkins over Igbuka if he doesn't play, and I would play Bucky as well over Igbuka, and then Goff or Caleb Williams. I'm probably a little higher on Goff than some are. I just think Goff he's just so underrated. I have Jared Goff at 12 this week. So I would go with Jared Goff.
I agree. And I will also tell everybody we got 46 people watching, only 27 likes. So if you'd be so kind, slap that like button. Not sure how much longer we'll be here, but feel free to slap that like button.
Yeah. Let's try to go rapid fire here. Greg said tough spot this week at tight end. Pitts, Loveland, Parkinson, or Jazeki Hoff. Who do you got?
Gesicki. But
Okay.
almost Loveland.
Also said need two from this group: Jameson Williams, Flowers, Michael Wilson, or Tet. I'm going to go with Tet McMillan, and I will go with Zay Flowers. I do like Michael Wilson, but I'm going to go with Zay over Wilson. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you want the high upside play, actually, you know what? I would go with Wilson over Flowers. Yeah,
Same.
I go Wilson, and I would go with Tet. Hoff, let's see, hurting at wide receiver, need to start two for Watson, Mooney, Parker, Washington, and Quentin Johnson. Any help with that?
Give me Watson and give me Darnell Mooney this week. Likely no Drake London. I think it's official, or it might as well be. Give me Watson and give me Mooney.
Okay. Country Boy said 12-man PPR start, one quarterback, two running back, two wide receivers, one tight end, one flex. Quarterback Purdy. You're starting Mahomes. CMC, Jones, Walker, Tucker, Benson, Rodriguez. I would start CMC. I would start Walker. Maybe you could flirt with Benson if he gets activated. Benson's very interesting. Olave, Diggs, Pierce, Jennings, Burden, Terry, Godwin. I would start Olave. I'd start Diggs, and I would start Jennings. And then a tight end, I would go with. I mean, if Waller's active and healthy, I would go with Waller. If he's not, I would probably go with Kate Otten. And then for Rams defense, Rams, Packers, definitely going with the Rams. Yeah, that was to the question before. Greg, we answered this one. Oh, it's my mom. He drowned his SARS eating your chicken mozzarella sandwich house. Good. Okay.
Good times.
Aaron Jones or Jameson Williams this week. I would go with Jameson Williams if you want upside, Jones if you want a safe play.
Samesy. Little flashback to last week. Samesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say Hoff for you, Fairborn or McLaughlin. Rest of season decisions is killing me. I think you probably answered this already, but what do you got?
As I take a sip of my Pedialyte, give me Fairbairn. There are better weeks ahead for Chase McLaughlin for people who do have him, who want to ride with him. But yeah, Fairbairn for me.
Okay. Did you send the DFS in the chat as well?
Indeed, I did. I could even send it again if you want.
Yeah, send that again if you guys want. $20 entry, DFS to 10 people max in there. So get in while the getting's good. If you want to play with us, should be a fun time. Josh Luck said already started McBride. Start Michael Wilson, Mooney, or Parker, Washington. I'd still start Michael Wilson. Would you guys rather flex Jalen Warren, Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Jefferson, or Christian Watson? I would start Bucky Irving. Hoff, Genty, or RJ Harvey. Happy Thanksgiving.
Genty, which is pretty easy for me. Sorry, no disrespect to your Broncos, but
that's fine.
Genty.
Answered this one already. Amazon said, good morning, happy Thanksgiving. So I have Hampton, Bucky, Henderson, and Rico, assuming they all play, knowing that Hampton and Bucky may be limited. Who would you start at half-point PPR? Thank you. I'd still bench Rico here. I would go with Henderson, and I would go with Bucky Irving.
That's sure. Same. No,
for you here, happy Thanksgiving. Safest floor, Herbert, Dart, or Jacoby Brissett?
Herbert's got the safest floor, to me, in my opinion.
Okay.
They're close, though. I mean, Brissett, again, like I said earlier, I mean, he is averaging 20. I mean, these are all good options, but yeah. Herbert represents the safest floor.
Debating a flex spot between Devin Neal, Christian Watson. Any advice? Oh gosh.
Ooh,
That's.
it's putting you in a bad spot.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
like this.
Gosh, I don't like this one at all.
Pete is sweating like he's on an episode of Hot Ones right now. I would go Christian Watson while Pete stretches and internally.
I'll go Christian Watson. I'd go Christian Watson. We buy homes near you. Said standard league, need one wide receiver. Hauff. Diggs versus the Giants. Egbuka versus the Cardinals. Jettas versus Seattle. Happy Thanksgiving.
Can't go a show without saying it. Standard leagues are the softborn of fantasy football. I will go Stephon Diggs in this spot. Yep. Stephon Diggs. I'm petrified of Justin Jefferson this week.
I think we both go Dak here. Tough spot, tight end, full PPR. Loveland pitched. We answered that. Sent it in again. Santos this week, rest of the season. Hauff.
I like him rest of the season. He's just outside my top 12 this week, but I do like him rest of the season. By the way, just outside top 12 is not a death sentence for kickers. So
Dak or Knicks. I would go with Dak Prescott. Yeah, I would go with Dak Prescott. Start Dobbs at noon or DJ Moore. I would go with DJ Moore. And do we think Smith will play? I don't know. It's really hard to say. I mean, it's a Friday. Yeah. It's a short week. I would roll out Dobbs. But I'm assuming this means you have to sit Smith. But the problem is, I mean, how much higher do you have Dobbs ranked than the other guys here? Right? Is it worth missing out on Devonta if he plays? To just get Dobbs in the lineup off, or DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is close enough to Dobbs where I think I would start Smith, and if he doesn't play, pivot to DJ.
Yeah, I agree. And if I had to guess based on all the stuff that's up against Devonta Smith, I would say he doesn't play because, again, like Pete said, this is a short week. They are playing tomorrow, Black Friday. But yeah, I would go that route too.
Okay. All right, a couple more here. We'll try to get to everybody, and then we'll get out of here. Corey said Dontavian Wicks is 3,400 on DK slate. Feels nice with no Reed Golden questionable. Yeah, I think that's an interesting play.
Yep, I noticed
James said happy Thanksgiving. Half point PPR, Knicks, Dart or Burrow, Flex, Rodriguez or Swift, wide receivers Yoshi Voss, Mechie or Tez. I have Jamar, so not sure if two Bengals, Strange or Gadsden. Is Pacheco worth picking up? I would probably go with Swift over Rodriguez. I wouldn't start Pacheco over either of them. I would go with John Mechie over Yoshi Voss and Tez. I think Hauff would prefer Yoshi Voss there, but you do have Jamar as well. So I would probably roll that. And then Knicks, Dart or Burrow. Is it okay over there?
Yeah.
I prefer Knicks, but I think Hauff prefers Burrow. Is that
correct.
fair to say?
Yeah, but really quick, are you not going Ishavas just because he's got Jamar and you don't want to start two Bengals, or do you truly like Mechie over?
I think I still just like Mechie over him.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then Stranger Gadsden, I would go with. The reason I don't want to answer that so fast is because I think it'd have it pretty close. I would go with Gadsden, but they're back to back in my rankings. You?
I would go Strange in that spot.
Tyler, what's going on, man? $5 super chat said Aubrey or Fairbarn. Fairbarn has scored single digits in 3 straight games.
Fairbairn? Let me see this. This is my kicker stuff. Well, he had 8 points last week. That was when he was returning from injury. Actually, no. What are you talking about, Fairbairn? No, he had 11. He had 11 points before that, 15, and then 14.
I mean, maybe it depends on the scoring. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe his scoring.
Maybe he meant Aubrey actually, because Aubrey's had 4 straight games with less than 10 points. So maybe he meant
double
Aubrey
digits. There. He said, "Sorry, I meant double digits."
Oh, okay, got it. Yes, then you are correct. And I would go Fairbairn, especially because Texans lead the league in terms of field goal attempts on a per game basis, and Aubrey's just not getting the opportunities. So. Fairbairn.
Appreciate the super chat, Tyler. Thank you so much, man.
Yes.
Woody Marks or Xavier Worthy this week? I would roll a dice with Xavier Worthy this week.
Same.
Ryan said, "Would you drop Hunter Henry for Mason Taylor?" I would not. Hunter Henry's
Nope.
been hot, and I like to ride the Hunter Henry train when he's on a heater. Juan said, "Who for my wide receiver 2 and 3 and wide receiver 2, 3 and flex spot?" Oh God, these are some really bad wide receivers. He's got Adams at wide receiver 1. Tez, Addison, Dortch, Quentin. I would go with Quentin Johnston, and I would go with Deebo Samuel. And the flex spot, I would go with. I almost want to say Greg Dortch. I would go with Greg Dortch. No,
Yeah.
I can't. No,
I
I'm
can.
not going Greg Dortch. If Marv is
Well.
playing, I can't go Greg Dortch. I would roll the dice with Tez. Shit, no, I would go with Jacoby Myers. Yeah.
You're right there.
All right.
Okay.
Quentin Johnson, Deebo, and Jacoby Myers. It's a really gross. That's a really gross grouping of guys.
And we do have another super chat. Yeah.
Oh, Steven D'Angelo said, "Is Josh Jacobs
That's
playing?
right.
If so, would you start Emmanuel Wilson over Pacheco?" Jacobs is playing. He's all good to go. I don't know if he was on the injury report at all. I think it was ruled yesterday he was going to play. So I would start Jacobs. I would still start Emmanuel Wilson over Pacheco though. Either way, even if Jacobs is playing. What about you?
I would actually agree with that. And yeah, Jacobs does have no injury designation. So that was as of yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Wilson was still factoring in a little bit before Jacobs got hurt. So at this point, I don't really know what to expect with Pacheco.
Yeah.
All right, let's try to get to a couple more. We got about 5 minutes left. We'll try to get to as many as we can before we get out of here. Lucy said, "Good morning. I hope you both have an amazing Thanksgiving." Thank you so much. You too. Said, "Quick question: which quarterback would you start rest of the season for the playoffs? Dart or Purdy?" I would go with Jackson Dart. Have to drop one of these guys to pick up a kicker, Hauff, Emmanuel Wilson, Trey Tucker, Luther Burden.
Luther Burden for me. Sorry. Can't do it.
Me too. Oh, wait. No, you would drop Luther Burden.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I would actually drop Trey Tucker.
Okay.
Yeah, I would drop Trey Tucker. I think Burden. I don't think you're probably not starting any of those guys. So I would prefer the higher upside guy in Burden. Phantom said, "Would you guys rather flex Jalen Warren, Kenneth Walker, Bucky, or Watt?" I think we answered this already. I would say Bucky Irving, and then Watson if you don't feel confident in Bucky. Hey guys, what's up? This is my team, week 13. Any changes? May, Henderson, Harvey, Wandale, JSN, McBride, Bucky, benches, Jettas, Woody, Judkins, Amika, Loveland, Pierce, Algier, 10-man PPR 9-3. Good stuff. Nice record.
I would do Judkins over Harvey.
I would start Harvey over Judkins, but it's close.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I would change. Besides that, I think you're good to go.
Yeah. Hunter Henry for Strange, no. I would keep Hunter Henry. Addison or Judy, I think I would go with Judy. Play Marv and Michael Wilson over guys like Monty, Mooney, Slayton, and BTJ. Hauff? I would start Michael Wilson over Slayton and Mooney. I would maybe consider BTJ only because you have Marv. And at that point, I would probably consider Marv being benched over Michael Wilson. I trust Wilson more than I trust Marv right now, even if Marv comes back. Final one here: Judkins or Hampton. Hauff.
Give me Judkins in this spot. I want to see what Hampton does coming back from injury, and also with the offensive line injuries over there for the Chargers.
Okay. Jay Kirsch said, "Good morning, Flex. Jefferson, Michael Wilson, or Diggs? Thanks and happy Thanksgiving." I mean,
Michael Wilson for me. Shoot. Yeah. I think I'm leaning Michael Wilson. I'm finally at that point where I can't say you have to start Justin Jefferson. I'm at that point.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Bless you.
Let's see. Howard Carter said, "May sound crazy, flex Josh Jacobs or RJ Harvey." I don't think it's crazy. I would start Josh Jacobs over Harvey though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's crazy, but I'm still going Jacobs.
JMO or Worthy this week, Hauff?
JMO.
I would go with Worthy.
Okay.
I know it's crazy. I think I'd go with Worthy. Zach Linton's in the house. What's up, man? Happy Thanksgiving,
Look,
boys. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you hopping in. Jose Rodriguez, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Michael Wilson, Tet, Judy, Jennings, Tyler Warren, Hall, Mechie. Yeah, I think I'm going with Tet, Michael Wilson, and I think I'm going with who do the Jets play again? They play the Falcons.
Jets, yes.
Yeah, I think I would go with Hall over Tyler Warren.
So would I. So would I.
Hi from Tacoma. You're very great. 100,000 pesos to come and Poco defeat the infamous El Guapo
That's
from
right.
our lovely. Oh, he's. It's funny. Steve sent that in, and we didn't answer because it was a regular chat, and then he sent it in as a super chat after.
Just to
That
make
was-
sure it
remember
got in
that
there.
one- Do you remember the one guy that we got? It was like I don't know if it was like a refugee or something. Like I don't know. It was
Yes.
like some guy from like Africa or something that like was asking us for money or something on here with
Yeah,
Anthony
and then
last year.
Yeah, and then we made fun of him, but then we felt bad because like maybe you really needed it. Yeah.
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 Anthony was like all scared after. He's like, it's like, oh man, like we might get in big trouble for that. That's good stuff, man.
Big trouble with who?
I don't know. Maybe with RotoWire for him. Pittman, DK, or Shakir Hoff? I think Pittman for me.
Pittman, yeah. Pittman. Shakir has done well though.
He has. Drop Godwin for Judy or Parker Washington. I kind of want to see what Godwin has here before I drop him.
Yep, agreed.
Let's see. Who would you start? I would start Judkins. Oh, I'm sorry. I would start Harvey, but it's a flip of the coin for Judkins and Harvey for me.
Yeah, Judkins for me, but yeah, it's close.
Couple guys talking in the chat here. Strange or Fannin? I'm going with Strange this week.
So am I.
Okay. Star Lord said Burrow, Love, or Goff. I'll go with Burrow. Goff not super far behind though for me.
Same. Love is just
Best
so
phone call.
whatever.
What's going on, brother? Happy Thanksgiving to you too, man. Hoff, this one's for you. Adunze, Michael Wilson, Jameson, and Pittman. Start 3.
I would
bench
be
1.
sitting Odunze if it's me. I'll take that ceiling play of Jameson Williams. I'll take Pittman, and then Wilson. I like what he's done. I think he's done enough to still have an impact even with Harrison back.
Okay. I'm gonna sit JMO there, but I get it. I respect it. Zay, Flowers, or RJ Harvey. I'll go with RJ Harvey.
Here I'll go RJ, yeah.
Chris Cross said, "Morning, guys. Would you play Montgomery or Pacheco and T Mac or Mechie? Definitely T Mac. I get the matchup's tough. And then Montgomery or Pacheco, I'm going with Montgomery. And it's a full PPR. Hoff said, "Love Stroud or Tua." We haven't gotten Stroud's out, I think.
Yeah.
So it's Love or
Give me a
Tua.
little bit of that. Give me a little bit of that Hawk Tua right there in that spot.
Oh,
I just don't like Jordan Love, man. I mean for fantasy. I'm not down. Can't do it.
That's fair. It's fair. Jefferson or ETN? I'll go with ETN this week. Comfortably.
Ooh, yeah. Jesus. I can't believe we're answering these, but yeah, ETN.
Every time we think Travis Etienne is out, man, he pulls us
Well, I
right
liked
back
him
in.
last week.
You did like him last week.
That's right.
Keith, what's up, buddy? Another very upset Raiders fan.
Oh,
Keith
yeah.
not having a good time this year with his Raiders. Said,
No shit.
sorry I'm late. Rico or Devin Neal? I'm going with Neal. I don't know if Hoff has shifted off of Rico for Neal, but I prefer Neal.
I'm still going Rico in this spot. Again, one of us is going to be dead wrong about Neil. Can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
Hoff said, "Happy Thanksgiving. Big decisions. Quarterback Lamar or Burrow?" I'm going with Lamar. Flex 1 PPR, need 2. Flex full PPR, need 2. Jalen Warren, Devin Neal, Chargers running back, Michael Wilson, Pearsall, Kelsey, Benson, if active. Yeah, I'm going to go with Travis Kelsey in this one. And then I'm going to go with Michael Wilson. And I would go Devin Neal still over Amarion Hampton this week.
I would go Hampton over Neal, but I agree with you on the Kelsey and the Wilson. And I actually agree with you on as high as I am on Burrow. I would go Lamar over Burrow.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. God bless. Thank you, Brock. Appreciate it. Mike said, enjoying the show. Burrow or Stafford? I have Stafford had a Burrow this week. I mean, to me, they both don't offer rushing upside. Stafford's been the hottest quarterback in football. I get Burrow is great, but I think it's nostalgia if we're just putting Burrow over Stafford this week in a tougher matchup by far.
This one's
to me,
closer for me
it
than
doesn't
the
make
Lamar question,
sense.
but yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Jay Knoll said, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Enjoy the content. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for jumping in. Tree Hugger, what's up, man? Said, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Evo Boy, Dowdle or Judkins? I'm going with Judkins in PPR. Half
Same.
PPR. Either way, I'm going with Judkins.
Same.
I think that's about it. That's all the questions. We will be back on Sunday. Either it's going to be me, Hauff, or both of us. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you like the show before you head out of here. Thank you so much for our super chatters. I'm going to shout you guys out real quick. Fantasy Savvy, Steve, the man, Tyler Sperry, Alfredo, very, very generous today. So we very much appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chats. Alfredo, Michael Levchenko, appreciate that. Big Fish Dog, Demir or Dimitri, Stephen Drakes, TD, Vice, Sam, Scott, and Stimmy Check. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoy your holiday. Have a blessed one, and we'll see you guys next.